I am Lamont at Large, and today I am in Webb City, Missouri. I'm at the Mount Hope Cemetery and here to visit the grave of YouTube celebrity Will Norton. I will put the link to Will's channel in the description box below. Now, when you go to his channel, you'll notice that he has only 13,000 subscribers. How yet I named the video The Grave of YouTube star Will Norton. So allow me to explain. YouTube back then in 2011 was still in its infancy. Back then, people were barely getting paid on YouTube, if at all then. So in 2011, when you had 10,000 subscribers, which it wasn't really a thing for people to watch YouTube like the way they watch it now. So he was a bona fide, pretty big YouTuber back in those days. If you go to his YouTube channel, you can pretty much see how funny he was and, you know, how charismatic he was in front of the camera. He was pretty much a natural. And had he lived, you could have easily seen him having in the millions of subscribers. If you look at guys like Shane Dawson and PewDiePie, you would just imagine that this kid, Will Norton, would be right up there with them. And it's almost like he had a feeling for how big YouTube was going to be. I had a YouTube channel for a long time too, but I never did anything with it. And I would have never guessed that YouTube would become the juggernaut that it has today. But he was an early pioneer of YouTube, and I guess he just had an eye to see where it was going to go. He was interested in becoming a filmmaker, so it was just a natural thing for him to go on YouTube, make skits, express himself, do funny videos, and what have you. He's seen it coming around the corner before many actually did. So in that summer of 2011, Will had graduated high school, and on the 22nd of May of 2011, they were having graduating ceremonies, celebrating everyone, all the kids from the high school that had graduated, getting their diplomas, the cap and gown, taking pictures, all the fun that ensues. So Will's dad goes to pick him up, and they're on their way home, presumably to have a party to celebrate him graduating high school. Little did they know that there was a tornado warning that had been called out on the local radio stations and the local news stations. Now, when a tornado warning goes into effect, not everybody in the city goes to run and hide in the basement, because oftentimes when you hear about a tornado warning, you're like, oh yeah, sure, it's gonna, bounce around and it's gonna land 50 miles from where we are. So people, they'll take heed, but they don't take real heed. You don't know when a tornado is gonna, like, exactly where it's gonna touch down. I mean, it could touch down literally anywhere. It could touch down on your neighbor's house and not touch yours. But they did not know the monstrous size of this tornado. It was an E5. We have in this country 5 categories of tornadoes, 5 being the worst. When you get a category 5 tornado, you're estimating that the winds are going to be around between 170 and 200 miles an hour. Positively the worst tornado warning that is out there. And so when they were driving, all of a sudden the sky turned black, and they knew that was it. They knew that the tornado had touched down and it was upon them. Will's dad had pulled over to the side in his SUV, and they basically huddled together because the tornado was pretty much right upon them. The tornado picked up the car off the ground and then slammed it down on the ground. The second time it did it, it picked it up a little bit higher and slammed it down. Now, you got to be thinking, what's going through your mind? Is this it? Are we going to die? Everything you've done in life, you're basically, your life is flashing before your eyes. The tornado picked up the car again, slammed it on the ground, but unfortunately, his SUV had a sunroof. And as tragic as it is, the tornado broke open the sunroof and sucked Will out. His dad tried to grab his hand and hold him from being torn out into the tornado. But when you're dealing with tornadoes that huge, 200 miles per hour winds, there's going to be no way you could hold on And unfortunately, his dad lost his grip, and Will was thrown out into the darkened sky. This is the grave of William Richard Norton, August 19th, 1992 to May 22nd, 2011. They found William in a pond about 200 or 300 feet from his dad's SUV 4 days later, in a pond with a bunch of rubble and debris on top of him. A very violent and horrible way to die, if I do say so myself. In total, 158 people lost their lives. Billions of dollars in damage. Many homes were destroyed. Over 1,200 people were injured from the tornado. Just a horrific and tragic way a young man with his life ahead of him could have done whatever he wanted. And I know for a fact, if he were still alive today, without a shadow of a doubt, he would have millions and millions of subscribers on YouTube. If he chose to pursue YouTube and grow with it, he would be world famous. His story is known by many people, millions of people. So I guess in a sense he is famous, and that was a thing that, you know, a lot of people want to be in life. We all want some kind of fame. We all want some kind of admiration. We want people's affection. I mean, it's true. And this young man right here, even in death, he achieved that. And even though his body is no longer on this earthly plane, his memory will live on forever and ever for people to stumble upon his videos 200 years from now. And even though his family, I'm sure it's very difficult to watch those videos, and even though a few years have passed since his death, it could be very tough to go back and look at that. But people out there should rest assured that his memory will live on, not only in the hearts of his friends and family and people who loved him, but also his many fans here on YouTube. And it's guys like this that set a path for guys like me. So I'm going to say rest in peace to William Richard Norton. Gone but not forgotten. You will always live on. And everyone who has a YouTube channel or enjoys YouTube, they should show just a little bit of gratitude towards you, because you were, in fact, a pioneer, sir. So thank you. And a big thank you for everybody out there who is watching this video. Thank you again. It always makes me feel good when people care to watch my videos. And in this video, a little piece of William's memory will live on forever. Okay, guys, I gotta go. Peace out, and rest in peace to William Richard Norton.